Once again, Gabriel, hi, how are you? I hope you are doing well. We are together again to learn something in mathematics. Okay, actually, this our, what is it, part two, the second week. Last week, we talked about um, linear inequalities, right? How to solve linear inequalities and how to show the solution set, and also linear inequalities where the coefficients are letters and this kind of stuff. And usually, actually, you're just using the same or similar idea to solve inequalities, okay? Because we are just looking for the range of the values of x where actually the values satisfy the given inequalities. So today we'll talk about systems of linear inequalities. So let's start with this example. Which of the following values of x are a solution? Okay, I've just changed my Wi-Fi to 4G, that's why I had to reconnect. So let's start with this example. Which of the following values of x are or is solutions of this inequality, right? The solution means that, again, when you are solving equations or inequalities, they mean the same thing. Solution means that when you substitute this value into the equation or inequality, that must satisfy the equation or inequality, right? But here we are talking about the system. Here we have two inequalities. That is the first one. Let me just write here. This is our first inequality, and this is the second inequality. And this curly bracket or brace means that actually we have to solve these inequalities together. That means that we need to find the range of values of x that must satisfy both inequalities. And for example, if you just check the first one, A1, is it actually the solution of this inequality or not? If you substitute there on the left-hand side, here we have 3 times 1 squared, that is 3, right? Plus 2, that's equal to 5. Less than 5 minus 8, that's equal to negative 3. And 6 plus 1, that is 7, greater than 2 times 1 squared, that is 2 plus 3, it is 5, right? Actually, it actually fails to satisfy the first inequality because 5 is not less than negative 3. 5 is greater than negative 3, right? That's why actually 1 is not a solution. So let me just write here, x equals 1 is not a solution. Okay, and how about part B? Let me just change the color. I don't like using reds. How about x equals negative 2? For x equals negative 2, again, if you just substitute and evaluate this, it's 3 times negative 2 squared. Negative 2 squared is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. Less than 5 times negative 8 times negative 2. Negative 8 times negative 2, that is 16. 5 plus 16 is 21. Yeah, 14 is less than 21, so it satisfies the first inequality. How about the second one? 6 plus negative 2, that is 4, greater than. The second one is 2 times negative 2 squared, that is 4. 2 times 4, 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. And 11, 4 is not greater than 11. That's why also x equals negative 2 is not a solution. And the last one is x equals 0. If you substitute 0 into these inequalities, the first one actually is 3 times 0. 0, 0 plus 2, it is 2. And the less than 5 minus 8 times 0, that is 5. It says 5 is the first inequality because 2 is less than 5. And how about the second one? 6 plus 0, it is 6, greater than 2 times 0, 0 plus 3, that is 3. So 2 is less than 5, 6 is greater than 3. So this x equals 0 satisfies both inequalities. That means that now, therefore, x equals 0 is a solution to this system. Okay, and this is what we mean by finding the solution of an inequality. And the set of solutions, right? It may have more than one solution. Together, it gives us the solution set of the inequalities. Let's say another example, solving system of inequalities. Find the common parts or the common region of the following sets. The first one is x equals greater than 4 and x is less than or equal to 7. Okay, let me just write here. For example, if you just do this on the number line, you can see much better. On the number line, x is greater than 4. Since it doesn't have equal sign, here we have 4. Okay, and here we have shaded region because it includes 7. So this x is greater than 4. What numbers are greater than 4? All numbers to the right of 4, right? Actually, I can just write the solution maybe like this. Okay. And x is less than or equal to 7. So what numbers are less than or equal to 7? All numbers that are left to 7. I can just show this like this. Now the parallel line, right? I can just shade this. Here we have a common part. Those numbers between 4 and 7, those numbers are greater than 4 and less than or equal to 7. So I can just write here, therefore, the solution, the common part is 4 is less than x less than or equal to 7. Okay, so in set form, we can just write it. Solution set is from 4 to 7 inclusive. Okay, the first one is showing your solution by illustrating on a number line. The second one is just an algebraic expression. And third one is set form of the solution of this inequality. And how about part B? In part B, x is less than or equal to -3. So I can just write again here, suppose that this one is x, this one is -3. And here we have, let's say 1,000, not inclusive. It's 10,000 x, not 1,000. Less than or equal to, right? Also less than or equal to means that from here to the left, right? And how about from 1,000, from here, not inclusive, less than, so it is to the left. So now actually the common part is again the parallel line, right? Double shaded area. Let's say a shaded region. So all the numbers that is less than or equal to 3, actually I need to write here x. So x less than or equal to -3, that is the common part of this inequality. Or in set form again, let me just write here solution set of this inequality will be from -infinity to -3. And how about C? For C, x is greater than or equal to -7, and the 6 and 1. So here, suppose that here we have -7. Okay, so to the right, because it is greater than -7. And the second one is x is less than or equal to 6. And here we have, let's say here we have 6. Okay, so less than or equal to 6. Let me just draw like this. Okay, and third one is x is greater than 1. So here we have 1 is greater than 1. Let me just draw like this. Okay, and since we are talking about 3 inequalities, right, the common region will be where we have 3 lines. Where do we have 3 lines? Here, from this point until this point, we have 3 lines. So that is the common part of these inequalities. So that's why the solution will be, the solution set will be, what is it? 1, not inclusive, from 1 less than x less than or equal to 6. This one is 6. Or in set form, solution set of this inequalities will be from 1 to 6. Okay. Now let's solve the inequalities. Solve the following system of inequalities. So here we have two inequalities. How do you solve this? Actually, first you have to solve the first inequality completely and also the second one completely. And after that, maybe you can illustrate your answer on the number line. And after, we can just take the common part and write the solution for this inequalities, for these inequalities. Now, if you start solve the first one, okay, let's just do it together. The first one here, we have 4x minus 4 greater than or equal to 5 plus x. Okay. All right. The second one is if you multiply both sides by 3, the positive doesn't change the solution set. So here we have x plus 2 less than it is 12. Now we're just solving separately, but at the same time, I'm just writing them together, okay? The first inequality, take x to the left-hand side. For x minus x, it is 3x. Greater than or equal to, take negative 4 to the right-hand side. 5 plus 4, it is 9. The second one, take 2 to the left-hand side. X is less than 10 because 12 minus 2 is 10. So now final step is x is greater than or equal to 3 because I can divide both sides by 3. X is greater than or equal to 3 and x is less than 10. Okay, now dots, dots, dots. The solution will be maybe on the number line. Here we have 3 inclusive and here we have 10 not inclusive. So from 3 to the right and from 10 to the left. Where do we have the parallel line? Here, right? Because we are solving two inequalities. So the solution set will be from 3 less than or equal to x less than 10. 10 is not inclusive. Again, sometimes, okay, you may want to write as a solution set. It will be from 3 to 10 as an interval. That interval, actually, any number from this interval will be the solution to these inequalities. That means that any number from this inequality, it satisfies both inequalities. Another example, solve the inequality or inequalities. Actually, we have two inequalities. So in this case, if we are given as a single statement, right, the single expression, but it contains, as I say, two inequalities. One is less than or equal to, and less than here. So what does it mean? Actually, I can just write it as a system of linear inequalities because here, if we have A is less than or equal to B less than C. What does it mean? This is equivalent to this. That is equivalent to this. A is less than or equal to B, and B is less than or equal to C. And this A is less than or equal to B, and B is less than C. That's also equivalent to this. A is less than or equal to B, and B is less than C. It is the system. This curly bracket means it is M, and we have to solve these inequalities together. So if I just write this in this way, at the time here, we will have 1 over 3 less than or equal to 3 minus 2x over 4. And the second one, it is 3 minus 2x over 4 less than 2. So I have just exchanged this into a set of equivalent inequalities. The first one, actually, I can just multiply both sides by 12. At the time here, we will have 4 less than or equal to 3. 3 times 3 is 9 minus 6x. The second inequality, multiply both sides by positive 4. So here we have 3 minus 2x less than 8. So now if I just continue solving this, first one, take 6x to the left-hand side. Here we have 6x less than or equal to 4 to the right-hand side. 9 minus 4, that's equal to 5. And the first one takes 3 to the right-hand side, minus 2x less than 8 minus 3, it is 5. So now I'm just trying to isolate x, right? From the first inequality, divide both sides by 6. So x is less than or equal to 5/6. And how about the second one? Divide both sides by -2. Since we are dividing by -2, also we need to change the inequality sign. It will be greater than -5/2. That's it. Now on the left-hand side, we have single x. On the right-hand side, we have number. So if you just draw a number line, here we have -5/2, and here we have 5/6, right? So actually, it's greater than -5/2. So we are talking about these numbers to the right. And 5/6, right? X should be less than 5/6. So we are talking about these numbers, okay, inclusive. So in this region, right, we have parallel lines. So that is the solution set. Now from here, so dot, 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 x is greater than 5/2, just greater than, not equal. Here we have x less than or equal to 5/6. Or as a solution set, the solution is, no, -5/2 is not inclusive. -5/2 to 5/6. Gabriel, is everything clear? Good. Okay. Now let's saw another inequality. Here where it involves, what is it? Fraction. But in the fraction, in the denominator, we have a variable. We call this algebraic fraction, right? At that time, you should be careful. How do we do that? Sometimes students actually they make this mistake. They just multiply both sides by 5x minus 3 and they solve this inequality. That is a very common mistake. Okay, but we cannot do this. Why we cannot do this? Because I don't know the sign of the denominator. This 5x minus 3, is it positive or negative or 0? We don't know that. So how do we do that now? First, I try to leave 0 on the right-hand side. At that time, here we will have 3x plus 1 over, and here we have 5x minus 3. Okay, minus 1, less than 0. Now let me just bring into a single denominator here. I mean the single fraction. So here we have, if the common denominator is 5x minus 3. So here we have 3x plus 1 minus 5x minus 3. That is 5x plus 3 over, here we have 5x minus 3 less than 0. Now if you simplify the numerator, 3x minus 5x, that is minus 2x, and 1 plus 3, that is 4 over 5x minus 3. I can simplify this further, okay, because I want to have the coefficients of x positive. So what can I do here? Let me just multiply both sides by minus 1 over 2. Okay, if you just multiply both sides by minus 1 over 2, I'm just actually, because here, if you just take out this -2 from the numerator, I can just write it as -2 times x minus 4 over, and here we have 5x minus 3 less than 0. Now, if you divide both sides by -4, because just negative number, so it is x minus 4 over 5x minus 3 will be greater than 0, because we have divided both sides by -4. So now from here, how can I solve this? Actually, what actual fraction is greater than 0? For a fraction to be greater than 0, its numerator and denominator should have the same sign, right? So that means that this x should be x minus 4 and 5x minus 3, both should be negative, or both should be positive, okay? So to do this one, we know that actually I can just write in this way. Here we just draw this and this kind of table, and this is for x minus 4, and this one is for 5x minus 3, okay? So let me just use blue. This x minus 4, right? Where it is positive, and here we have 4, right? If this one is 4, okay, on the right-hand side, it is positive. On the left-hand side, it's negative. How about 5x minus 3? as 3 over 5, right? When x equals 3 over 5, that is positive. I mean, 0. So here we have 3 over 5. Okay, this one is 4, and this one is 3 over 5. Now for the first one, okay, x minus 4 to the right of 4, it is positive. So here we have plus, and on to the left it is minus. It is minus and minus. How about 5x minus 3 to the right of 3 over 5? It is positive. So it is positive, positive, here negative. Now how about their result right here? Minus minus, because we are dividing. Minus is divided by minus, it is plus. And minus is divided by plus, it is minus. And plus plus, it is plus again. So that means that in this interval, our fraction is positive. In this interval, our fraction is positive. So at that time, the solution will be, what is it? X is less than 3 over 5, and x is greater than 4. How do you write this? That is, x is greater than, actually, let me just write first, less than 3 over 5, and x is greater than 4. X is greater than 4. Also, actually, the set form, you can just write the set form from minus infinity to 3 over 5 union. That means the and, or, it means or, right? From 4 to positive infinity. From this interval, if you just take any number, it will satisfy this inequality. All right. Now, let's do some inequalities involving, what is it? Letters as coefficients. Solving system of linear inequalities with letters as its coefficients. Okay. So again, the idea is the same. Okay, the point that we have to pay attention here, or you should be careful here, is when we are dividing both sides by some parameter. Because if you actually, if you happen to do this, for example, during the process, right? Let's say you have to divide both sides by a, then you have to consider some different cases. When a is positive or negative or 0, right? Anyway, so solve the following system of inequalities for x. The first one again, okay, let me just try to leave x alone. First, take 3a minus 3ax to the left-hand side. So here we have ax plus 3ax less than, take negative 4 to the right-hand side, 8 plus 4, that is 12. And how about the second one? Again, all the terms that has x, collect them on the left-hand side. Here we have a plus 2x, and here we have minus 2, 1 minus ax, greater than, and take negative 2 to the right-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have 4, 4 plus 2, it is 6. Okay, so actually that's our system. So from the first one, right, x is a common factor, and a plus 3a, it is 4a. So we can just write here 4ax less than 12. And how about the second one? X is a common factor. If you simplify here we have a plus 2, and minus 2 times 1, it is minus 2. Minus 2 times minus a, it is plus 2a, which is equal to 3a, right? So here we have 3ax greater than 6. That is the second part. So first, let me actually simplify this a bit further. The first inequality, I can divide both sides by 4. So ax is less than 3. And the second one, divide both sides by 3. Ax is greater than 2. Okay. So now a is our parameter, right? The coefficient. What can I do here? So I have to consider different cases. The first case here is, suppose that a is positive. Okay, if a is positive, at that time I can just divide both sides by a. So we will have this inequality then. At the time here we will have x is less than a over 3, and x is greater than 2 over a. Okay, the solution will be dot 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 less than greater than, right? So the solution will be 2 over a less than x less than a over 3. This will be the solution. And how about the second one? The second case is, how about if a is equal to 0? If a is equal to 0, then our inequality will take this form. Here we have 0 less than 3. The second one, 0 greater than 2. But because of the second case, right, 0 is not greater than 2. And that's why this inequality has no solution. This means that it has no solution. So the third one is, how about now? A is less than 0. If a is less than 0, at the time when we just divide both sides by negative number, we have to change the inequality sign. So here we have x is greater than 3 over a, and x is less than 2 over a. So it will be this one. So the solution will be dot 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 3 over a less than x less than 2 over a. So we have actually these cases. We have to consider these cases. All right. Another example, the solution set. The solution set of system of inequalities. 3x plus a less than 2, 2x minus b greater than 5 for x. For x is 4 is less than x and less than 7. So actually the solution set is given. We have to determine the value of a and b. So first, of course, we have to solve this, and after that, we'll try to determine the values of a and b. From the first one, right, take a to the right-hand side, 2 minus a, divide by 3. So the x will be less than 2 minus a over 3. And how about the second one? Take b to the right-hand side and divide by 2. So x will be greater than 5 plus b over 2. So actually from here now I can write this solution then. The solution will be x is greater than, right? So it is 5 plus b over 2 less than x less than 2 minus a over what is it? It is 3. And since the solution of this inequality is this, between 4 and 7, which implies that this should be equal to 4, and this should be equal to 7, right? So if you solve this for 4, right, 5 plus what number is divided by 2 is equal to 4, so b should be equal to 3, because 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 is divided by 2 is 4. How about here? 2 minus what number is divided by 3 is equal to 7, that is 21, right? It's equal to, it should be 21, so a should be equal to, what is it, minus 21, because 2 minus 21, sorry, it's not 21, it is minus 18, minus 19. 2 minus 19, that's equal to 21. 21 is divided by 3 is equal to 7. So now from here, dot, 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 the value of a should be negative 19, and the value of b should be 3. Gabriel, these are some examples. Now we'll try to solve some questions from the exercise, okay? And anytime, if you have questions, please, you can stop and ask. You can have even some discussion. All right. So find all integral solutions of system of inequalities. Okay, so here it says that we need to find the integral solutions. Okay, not the real solutions. They should be integral. Still, to do this one, first, of course, we have to solve it. Then after that, we'll just pick up only integral solutions. From this inequality, first, take negative 5 to the right-hand side. So here we have 3x is greater than 6 plus 5, that is 11. And how about the second one? Let me multiply both sides by 3 first, because the first, it involves a fraction. The denominator of the fraction is 3. So if you multiply both sides by 3, here we have 17x minus 21 less than, multiplied by 3, it is 12x plus 9. So the first inequality, divide both sides by 3, x is greater than 11 over 3. And the second one, take 12x to the left-hand side, 17 minus 12, that is equal to 5x, less than, take negative 21 to the right-hand side, 9 plus 21, that is 30, right? So now I can just write the solution here. X is greater than 11 over 3, and x is less than 5 over 30 over 5, that is 6. So on the number line, you can see it's much clearer. So 11 over 3, here we have, right? 11 over 3. And 6, it is somewhere here. Okay. So what actually integers do we have over this number line, right? What integers do we have here? So 11 over 3, right? Actually, if it is 12 over 3, here we have 4. And here we have 5. And this 6 is not inclusive. So actually, this solution that contains only 2 integer solutions. So dot, 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 integer solutions of this inequality are, let me just write here, x are, what are those numbers? It is 4 and 5. It has 2 integral solutions. Okay. Another question. Find the common part of the following sets. Now we have already done this. Let me just do it quickly. And I think I need to use some space. Okay. So find the common part of the following sets, right? The first one is x is less than or equal to 1, negative 1. X is less than 190,700, right? So what is the common part? The common part is dot, dot, dot. X is less than or equal to negative 1. And how about the second one? X is greater than negative 4 and x is less than 13. So the common part will be minus 4 less than x, right? And less than, it is 13. So x must be between these two numbers. That's the common part. And how about the third one? X is greater than 3 and x is less than negative 5. And if you just draw on the number line, here x is greater than 3, it is this, right? It goes just to the right here. X is less than or equal to negative 5. Here we have negative 5. It is to the left, right? So we don't have any double line here. So the common part is empty. It doesn't have any common part. And how about D? In D, x is less than 2 and negative 7 and 10. So here we have negative 7 and here we have 2 and here we have 10 shaded. Okay, x is greater than negative 7, it is this side. Right? X is less than 2, it is this way. Right? X is less than or equal to 10, it is again this. So where we have triple lines here, triple lines are here, right? From here to here. So the common part will be then, the common part will be dot, dot, dot from negative 7 less than x less than 2. That is the common part of these inequalities. Solve the following system of inequalities. So we have two inequalities. Solution. Okay, so The first one, again, take 6x to the left-hand side. So here we have 4x minus 6x, that's equal to minus 2x. Less than, and take 5 to the right-hand side, negative 3 minus 5, that is negative 8. And how about the second inequality? It has actually some fractions. The denominators are 2 and 3. Let me multiply both sides of this inequality by 6 so that we will not have any fraction in our inequality. So if you multiply both sides by 6, 6 times x over 2, that is 3x. 6 times x over 3, that is 2x, minus 6 times 1, it is 6. 6 times 0, that is 0. Now the second step, we try to simplify further. The first inequality, divide both sides by negative 2. Since we are dividing by negative 2, also we have to change the inequality sign. So here we have x is greater than negative 8 is divided by negative 2, that is 4. And how about the second one? 3x minus 2x, that is x. Take 6 to the right-hand side, it is less than 6. So now from here, dot, 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 the solution of this inequality is x is less than, 4 is less than x, x is less than 6. That is the solution set of this inequality, or a set form from 4 to 6. Okay, solve the following system of inequalities. Here we have 3 inequalities. Okay, so let me just write next to it, and after that we'll continue. The first step, so we'll try to simplify this, right? So the first step, the first inequality, takes 4x to the left-hand side, 3x minus 4x, that is x. Greater than, take 5 to the right-hand side, minus 3 minus 5, that is minus 8. The second inequality, multiply both sides by 3, so it is 2x minus 4 is less than 3. And the last one, the third one, also it involves fraction. That's why I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Multiply both sides of this inequality by 2. 2 times 2x, that is 4x. 2 times 3, it is 6. And the 2 times 1 over 3 is 1. So here we have x minus 7. I have just transformed into the set of simpler inequalities. Let me continue from here. Now the first one we have nothing to do. It's already in the simplest form. X is greater than negative 8. The second one, take negative 4 to the right-hand side. 3 plus 4 is 7. And divide both sides by 2. So x will be less than 7 over 2. And how about the third one? Take x to the left-hand side. It is 3x. Take 6 to the right-hand side. Greater than negative 7 plus 6. It is negative 1. So divide both sides by 3. So x will be greater than minus 1 over 3. Okay. So now if I just draw a number line, you can see much easier what's going on here. The first one is negative 8, 3.5 minus 1 over 3, right? So here we have negative 8. And here we have negative 1 over 3. And here we have 7 over 2. The first one is greater than negative 8. So it is from here to in this direction. The second one, less than 3 over 2. So it is this direction, right? And the last one is greater than minus 1 over 3. It is this direction. Okay, so what is the common part here? Is see here the common part is this, right here. So dot, 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 the solution set of this inequality will be from minus 1 over 3 to 7 over 2, right? Again, solution set will be minus 1 over 3 to 7 over 2. In either way, you can write this up. You don't have to write all of this, but sometimes in the books, they ask you to show, actually illustrate your answer on the number line. At the time, you have to just show this the first way. Just solve it, or you can just solve it in the second way, show your final answer. Sometimes it say that leave your answer in set form, so you can just leave it like this. All right. Next question. Solve the inequalities. So here, again, as you see here, we have two inequality signs here, right? So I'm just going to transform this into a set of inequalities. So actually, it's equivalent to this. 0 is less than 3x minus 5 over 2. And 3x minus 5 over 2 less than or equal to 8. So we are talking about this inequality. Even actually here, I can just write this 3x minus 5 on the left-hand side and 0 on the right-hand side, right? Because this a is less than b is equivalent to b is greater than a. So if I just do like this, at the time here we have 3x minus 5 over 2 will be greater than or equal to 0. The second one will be 3x minus 5 over 2 will be less than or equal to 8. Now let's continue solving this. Now the first one, multiply both sides by 2. Here we have 3x minus 5 greater than or equal to 0, because 0 times 2 is 0. And the second one, multiply both sides by 2. 3x minus 5 is less than or equal to 2 times 8, it is 16. The next step, take negative 5 to the right hand side, divide both sides by 3. So x is greater than or equal to 5 over 3. 5 over 3. The second one will be x is less than or equal to 16 plus 5, 21. 21 is divided by 3, that is 7. So now from here, dot, 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 x is greater than minus, not minus, just 5 over 3. 5 over 3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 7. That means that from this interval, right, from 5 over 3 to 7, if you just pick any number inclusive, it will satisfy this inequality or inequalities. Okay. Question 6. Solution. Let me use green here. Okay. So now I will do this in different way, okay, without separating this. Can we just do this without, how to say, writing this as a system of two inequalities, okay? So to do this one first, let me just change this fraction, this mixed number, into an improper fraction. So at the time, we will have 5 over 3 less than 7 plus 2x over 5 less than, and 4.5 is equal to 9 over 2. Now from here, we know that least common multiple of 3, 5, and 2. What is it? Is equal to 30, right? So let me just multiply all sides of these inequalities by 30, because we know that if you multiply all sides by a positive number, it does not change the solution. That means that it will just produce an equivalent set of inequalities. If you multiply all sides by 30, 30 times minus 5 over 3, right? 30 over 3, 10 times minus 5, it is minus 50. So here we have minus 50. Less than 30 over 5, it is 6. 6 times 7, 42. And 6 times 2, it is 12x. Less than 30 times 1 over 2, 15. 9 times 15, 90. 45, that's equal to 135. So now we are just trying to leave x alone in the middle, right? So now we have 42. How can I eliminate this 42? I will subtract 42 from all sides. So the time here we have minus 50, minus 42, that is minus 92. And 42 plus 12x minus 42, that is just 12x. And 135 minus 32, that is 100 minus 7, that's equal to 93. Okay, so now 12 times x, right? I'm going to divide all sides by 12. So now if you divide by 12, here we have divide by 12, divide by 12, divide by 12. What we have here, minus 92 is divided by 12. Actually, both numbers are divisible by 2. 46, 6, even it's divisible by 4, divided by 4, minus 23 by 3, over 3, over, here we have x, over, and 93 over 12, both numbers are divisible by 3, divided by 3, 31 over 4. So that is the solution of this inequality. That means that if you just pick any number from the interval from minus 23 over 3 to 31 over 4, it will satisfy these inequalities. Okay, another inequality is fraction. We have already done this, right? So immediately, because on the right hand side we have already 0, let me just write them separately like this. Okay, here we have 2x plus 3 and 3x minus 5. Okay, this 2x plus 3. When is equal to 0? When x equals minus 3 over 2. So here we have minus, is not inclusive, minus 3 over 2. And how about 3x minus 5? When is it equal to 0? When x equals 5 over 3. Because at this point, right, 0 is a kind of neutral point. If you just move a little bit to the right, it changes the sign to positive. To the left, it is negative. That's why in inequalities, this 0 is really important. So now the first inequality, 2x plus 3, right? To the right of minus 3 over 2, that is plus. It is plus and plus. To the left, it is negative. How about the second one, 3x minus 5? To the right of 5 over 3, it is plus. And to the left, it is minus. It is minus, minus. So since we are dividing these two expressions, minus over minus, it is plus. And plus over minus, it is minus. Plus, plus, it is plus. So that means that actually, since it is positive on this interval, and here our fraction is positive. So what is it? The solution will be x is less than minus 3 over 2, or x is greater than, what is it, 5 over 3. Okay, that means that if you just pick any number from this interval or from this interval, it will be positive. Okay, and solution set again, solution set of this inequality will be minus infinity till minus 3 over 2 union and 5 over 3 to positive infinity. All right. Just 1 second. Actually, here it should be or, not and. I've just realized that. Okay. Another example, similar example, but this time we have 2 on the right hand side. So again, what do we do here? First, we know that a over b is the same thing as minus a over minus b, because if you multiply the numerator and denominator of a fraction by any constant number, the value of the fraction does not change, except for 0, of course, because in the numerator we have 3 minus x, denominator we have 6 minus 5x, right? The coefficients of x, they are negative numbers. I just want to have positive number. Okay, at the time, otherwise they had no problem, but you should be a little bit careful if the coefficient is negative. So let me multiply numerator and denominator by -1. At the time, we will have this fraction, algebraic fraction, x minus 3 over 5x minus 6. And also take 2 to the left-hand side. I didn't do anything. I'm not multiplying both sides by -1. I'm just multiplying the numerator and denominator of the fraction by -1. That's why it does not change anything. And take 2 to the left-hand side. Here we have -2, and here we have less than 0. So now I'm just going to express this extra expression as a single fraction. So here we have x minus 3 minus 2 times, because common denominator is 5x minus 6, over here we have 5x minus 6 less than 0. Now if you simplify the numerator, x minus 2 times 5, x minus 10, x minus 10, that is minus 9x. And minus 3, minus 2, minus 6, plus 12, minus 3 plus 12, that is plus 9. Over here we have 5x minus 6 less than 0. Now again, as you see here in the numerator, -9 is a common factor. I can just write this -9x minus 1 over here we have 5x minus 6 less than 0. What happens now if you just divide both sides by -9? Nothing happens. We are just dividing by -9. The only thing, the change we have to make here is we need to change the inequality sign. So if you divide both sides by -9, so here we have x minus 1 over 5x minus 6 greater than 0, because I have divided by -9. Now from here, I can just draw this immediately. So here we have x minus 1 and 5x minus 6. Change the color here. So the first one is 6. Here we have 1, and the second one is, what is it? 6 over 5. Okay. So the first expression, x minus 1 to the right, it is plus. So it is plus, plus, it is minus. 5x minus 6 to the right of 6 over 5, it is plus. Here it is minus and minus. So since we are dividing here, the result will be, what is it? Minus minus, it is plus. Plus minus, it is minus. Plus plus, it is plus. Our inequality sign, it is positive, right? So we should just take only positive signs. So at the time here, right, it will be the solution, or here it will be the solution. So I can just write here, the solution will be, what is it? Let me just write here, solution set will be from -infinity to 1 union from 6 over 5 to positive infinity. Or as an inequality, what is it? X is less than 1, or x is greater than 6 over 5. That is the solution of this inequality. Okay. Solve the following system of inequalities for x. Here, what is this? We have also some letters as coefficients. So the first one, ax, right, minus 2ax, take 2ax to the left-hand side, and ax plus 2ax, right, what is it? It is 3ax, less than, take 3 to the right-hand side, 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. And how about the second one? If you just take this 3 minus a to the left-hand side, at the time we have here a minus 4 minus 3 minus a, because x is a common factor, which is equal to, and the minus minus the plus, here we have 2a minus 4 minus 3, it will be minus 7. So here we will have 2a minus 7x greater than, and take 1 minus 5, that's equal to minus 4. Okay, so let me simplify further the first one. Okay, actually, even I don't have to do that. So here we have 3a, right? And here we have 2a minus 7. Okay, so how do we actually solve this inequality? Because a minus 4 2a minus 4 minus 3. It is 7a plus a. 2a minus 7. Okay, that's correct. Nothing is wrong. All right. So now we have 3ax, right, and less than 2. And okay. So now I will just consider, okay, where this a and the 2a minus 7. Let me just write one more time. I want to just write it the simplest form. The first inequality, if you divide both sides by 3, so here we have ax less than 2 over 3. The second one, 2a minus 7, okay, x greater than negative 4. Okay. All right. So now the first condition. Our first condition, okay, a is positive, and okay, this means and. Just understand this one as and this one is or. That's short form, okay. And suppose that a is positive and this 2a minus 7 is positive. So from here, right, actually, where actually this 2a is positive and 2a minus 7 is positive, that means that actually here we have a should be greater than 7 over 2. Okay, we are just considering this case when a is greater than 7 over 2. Because if a is greater than 7 over 2, a will be positive, and also 2a minus 7 will be positive. At the time, the solution will be, here we have x, right? X is less than 2 over 3a, and here we have x is greater than minus 4 over 2a minus 7. This will be the solution. X should be less than this, and x should be greater than this. Okay. The second case, okay. How about if I do like this? Here we have number line. Just draw this with the reds. Okay. Here for A. So we are talking about this. Okay. Here we have A and 2a minus 7, right? Here we have 0, and here we have 0, 7 over 2. For A, here it is positive, positive, negative. For 7 over 2, it is positive, negative, negative. And if you just here, both are positive, negative, negative. Here, positive, negative. So positive, positive, right? Okay. All right. The second case here is, okay, when A is, actually, we just considered this case, when A is greater than 7 over 10. Okay. The second case is, how about A is between 0 and 7 over 2. Okay. Also, I have the consider the 7 over 2, right? Anyway, so the second case is A is equal to 7 over 2. Okay. If it is 7 over 2, then here we will have this case. The first one is positive. X will be equal to, X will be less than 2 over 3, because 7 over 2, right? It is divided by 7 over 2. 7 over 2, which is equal to 2 to cancel. Here we have 4 over 21, because A is equal to 7 over 2. The first inequality, just change this, take A to the right hand side. We just divide both sides by A. How about the second one? 2A minus 7 is 0, right? At the time, 0 will be greater than minus 4, right? So x 0 is greater than minus 4. Yes, it's always true. And x is less than 4 over 21. Okay, so here at the time, the solution will be x is less than 4 over 21 if A is equal to 7 over 2. Now the third case here is, the third case, okay, A is between 0 and 7/2. So 0 less than A less than 7/2. In this case, as see here, the first one, right? A is positive, but 2A minus 7 will be negative. So the solution will be, for the first one, A is less than 2/3A. This one is X. Okay, but the second one is negative, so X will be less than, because we are dividing by 2A minus 7. 2A minus 7 is negative over this interval. It will be less than minus 4/2A minus 7. Okay, X is less than 2/3A, and X is less than this, right? So since 2A minus 7 is negative, right, it will be positive. So this will be the solution set. Which one is smaller? Actually, we should just compare and write the answer. And the fourth case here, how about if A is equal to 0? Okay, if A is equal to 0, at the time, the first one, it will be, unfortunately, we don't have much space. So if A is equal to 0, the first inequality, it will be 0 less than 2/3. Okay, it satisfies the first one. The second one, 2 times 0, it is 0. 0 minus 7 minus 7. So X will be less than, we are dividing both sides by minus 7. It will be less than 4/7. Okay, so at the time, actually, this will be, the solution set will be X is less than 4/7 if X A is equal to 7. And the last one, how about actually the fifth one? Unfortunately, I have to write it here. Okay, how about actually both? This A is less than 0, right? If actually A is less than 0, both will be 0. If A is less than 0, dot, 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 the solution will be X is less than 2/3A, and X is greater than minus 4/2A minus 7. Okay, so this will be the solution. Yeah, I didn't notice that we had to consider the 5 different cases. Otherwise, maybe I would have written a bit smaller, but this is how should we consider this. Because the coefficients of X, they are not the same thing. One is A and one is 2A minus 7. So we have to consider where they have the same sign, okay, where they have the different signs. And also the year zeros, we have to consider differently. Okay, another example, we have 10, 11, 12, I think that's all. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. Let me just check. Okay. This is the last question. Let's just try to do this, and I'll finish the class. Let me some space here. Just okay. Solution. First, we should take 3ax to the left-hand side. So at the time, we'll have minus 3ax minus ax. So here we have minus 4ax. Less than, takes it to the right-hand side, 7 minus 3, that's equal to 4. How about the second one? And it's 3a plus 2 minus 2 times 5 plus 8, right? If I just simplify here, 3a plus 2 minus 10 minus 2a. That's equal to, it is a minus 8. So here we have a minus 8 times x. And here on the right-hand side, we have greater than minus 7. Okay, I have just simplified this. Second step, the first one, actually, I can divide both sides by negative 4. So here we have ax greater than, divide both sides by negative 4. That's why I'm changing the inequality sign. It's greater than 1. And the second one is a minus 8. And here we have x greater than minus 7. Okay. So immediately now, from here, we try to write the solution. Before I continue, again, let me just draw here for a, right? Here we have A and the A minus 8. Okay. For A, here we have 0, and here we have 8. This one is 0, and this one is 8. Okay. For A, to the right of 0, it is positive, 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 negative. For A minus 8, to the right of 8, it is positive, so it is positive, negative, negative. Okay, so I had to consider these cases separately. Number one, let me just write from the left-hand side. Okay, the first one is, what is it? A is less than 0. If A is less than 0, the first inequality we are talking about, let me just, we're just considering this, okay? Less than 0, so X will be less than minus 1 over A. And X will be greater than minus 7 over A minus 8. Okay. And since A is positive, negative, right? Minus 1 over A it is positive number. How about this? Minus 7 minus 8 over A over 8, that is negative number. So I can just combine this two. X will be minus 7 over A minus 8 less than X less than minus 1 over A. That's our first case, okay? And how about the second case? The second case is, and suppose that A is equal to 0 now. If A is equal to 0, the first inequality, 0 greater than negative 1. Yes, it satisfies. The second one is minus 8x is greater than minus 7. Or from here, 0 is greater than minus 1. The second one is x is less than 7 over 8. Okay, I have just divided both sides by negative 8. So from here, the solution will be x is less than 7 over 8. And how about the third case? Third case, let me use blue here. Third case here is, what is it? A is between 0 and 8. So 0 less than 8 less than 8. So at the time, actually, A is positive, A minus A is negative. A is positive, so here we have the first inequality will be X is greater than minus 1 over A. The second one will be X is less than, because we are divided by negative number, minus 7 over A minus 8. Okay, so minus 1 over A, it is positive. And here we have minus 7 over A minus 8, because A minus A is negative, negative 9 is positive. So the answer will be minus 1 over A less than X less than minus 7 over A minus 8. And how about case number 4? Here we have case number 4. What is it? A is equal to 8. If A is equal to 8, the first one will be X is greater than minus 1 over 8. The second one, on the left-hand side, we have 0 greater than minus 7. Yes, 0 is always greater than minus 7. So here the solution will be dot, dot, dot. X is greater than minus 1 over 8, if A is 8. And the last one is number 5. Let me use different one. Let me just write that. And now here, how about A is greater than 8? Both are positive. At the time, the solution will be X is greater than minus 1 over A, and X is greater than minus 7 over A minus 8. Okay, so A is greater than 8. Actually, the first one is, what is it? It is very small number, right? Because it is between negative 1 and 0. But how about the second one? It is greater than what is it? Greater than negative 7 and greater than 8, right? So even is smaller. Okay, so at the time we can just compare and write the final solution. Anyway, thank you very much, Gabriel. Okay, for this week is enough. Have a nice weekend. I will see you next week. Okay, bye-bye.